Hello. Today we're going to learn software development security and certified information system security. Professional. In Module 5 we have these topics. Understanding software development security concept, security in the software development lifecycle. Secure coding guidelines and standard security controls in development environments. Software development security concepts refer to the integration of security measures and processes into the software development lifecycle (SDLC). This includes the identification and mitigation of security risks and vulnerabilities at all stages of the SDLC, from design and development to testing and deployment. The goal is to produce software that is secure and resilient to attacks, and that meets the security needs of the organization and its stakeholders. Some of the key software development security concepts include: 1. Secure coding practices. This involves using coding techniques and tools to prevent common software vulnerabilities, such as buffer overflows, injection attacks, and cross-site scripting (XSS) attacks. 2. Threat modeling. This is the process of identifying and evaluating potential threats to a software application, and then designing and implementing appropriate security controls to mitigate those threats. 3. Security testing. This involves testing the software to ensure that it meets the required security standards and is resilient to attacks. For code review, this is the process of examining the software code to identify and correct any security vulnerabilities. 5. Secure deployment. This involves ensuring that the software is deployed in a secure environment with appropriate access controls, monitoring, and logging. Secure software development lifecycle (SDLC). This is an approach to software development that incorporates security into every stage of the SDLC, from requirements gathering to post-deployment maintenance and support. Security in the software development lifecycle (SDLC) refers to the incorporation of security measures and practices into the various stages of software development, from the initial planning and design phase to the deployment and maintenance phase. The goal of software development security is to ensure that software systems are built and maintained in a way that mitigates security risks and protects against potential threats. Security measures can be incorporated into each phase of the SDLC, including: 1. Planning and requirements gathering. Security requirements are identified and integrated into the overall project plan. 2. Design. Security controls and features are incorporated into the system design to protect against potential security threats. 3. Implementation. Code is written and tested to ensure that it meets security requirements and best practices. 4. Testing. Software is subjected to a battery of tests to identify potential vulnerabilities and security weaknesses. 5. Deployment. The software is released into production in a secure and controlled manner, with measures in place to protect against potential security breaches. 6. Maintenance. The software is monitored and updated on an ongoing basis to address new security threats and vulnerabilities. By incorporating security measures into each phase of the SDLC, developers can help to ensure that the software they create is secure and resilient in the face of potential security threats. Secure coding guidelines and standards are a set of best practices, guidelines, and coding standards that help ensure that software code is written with security in mind. Secure coding guidelines and standards cover all aspects of software development, from requirements gathering and design through coding, testing, and deployment. The purpose of secure coding guidelines and standards is to help developers avoid common coding errors that can lead to vulnerabilities and exploits. These guidelines and standards typically provide specific recommendations and examples for how to write code that is more resistant to attacks and better able to detect and respond to security threats. Examples of secure coding guidelines and standards include the CISSP Top 10, a set of 10 common web application vulnerabilities that should be avoided, and the CERT Secure Coding Standards, which provide detailed guidance on coding practices that can help prevent vulnerabilities in C, C++, Java, and other programming languages. Security controls in development environments refer to the security measures and practices that are implemented to ensure that the software being developed is secure. These controls are intended to prevent security vulnerabilities from being introduced into the software during the development process, and to ensure that the software is designed and implemented in accordance with best security practices. Examples of security controls in development environments include 1. Secure coding practices. Developers are trained on secure coding practices to ensure that the code they write is secure and free from vulnerabilities. This includes things like validating input, escaping special characters, and avoiding the use of insecure functions or libraries. 2. Code reviews. Code reviews are conducted to identify security vulnerabilities and coding errors. This helps to ensure that the code is secure and meets the organization's security requirements. 3. Penetration testing. Penetration testing is used to identify vulnerabilities in the software that could be exploited by attackers. This is done by simulating an attack on the software to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses. 4. Vulnerability scanning. Vulnerability scanning is used to identify vulnerabilities in the software by scanning it for known vulnerabilities and weaknesses. 5. Access control. Access control is used to control who has access to the software and its development environment. This helps to prevent unauthorized access and limit the potential for insider threats. 6. Configuration management. Configuration management is used to manage changes to the software and its environment. This helps to ensure that the software is developed and deployed in a secure and consistent manner. Overall, security controls in development environments are critical to ensuring that the software being developed is secure and meets the organization's security requirements. Thank you for watching us.